Hello and welcome to the Gambling Files podcast, the podcast that's been running for over 4 years now. 4 fabulous years. And I think we all know that the highlights have come at days like today, where Fintan is absent. I'm your host, John Bruford, lacking a co-host in Fintan Costello. Sad times. It does mean that there's a bit less back and forth during this intro period, but I'll do my best to make up for Fintan's absence. Possibly by doing the occasional Irish accent and coming out with popular Irish phrases, to be sure. I would like to do a little read about our sponsors, because today's episode is brought to you by Gaming Laboratories International. GLI is a world-class testing, inspections and certification company committed to... Am I going to edit this? No. Committed to delivering the highest quality land-based lottery and iGaming testing and assessment services around the world. GLI provides suppliers, operators and regulators with expert guidance for navigating the future of gaming and ensuring gaming innovations meet regulatory standards with confidence in more than 710 jurisdictions. That's 710, more than. For more information, visit gaminglabs.com. But that's not all, because this episode is also brought to you by Optimove, the creators of positionless marketing and the #1 player engagement solution for iGaming and sports betting operators. Now, we always say, go see Optimove, get the demo, because it's mind-blowing. You can find out more at optimove.com. You can find out about how operators are using Optimove's positionless marketing platform to launch personalized CRM campaigns, dynamically changing casino lobbies and bet slips, creating engaging gamified experiences. Optimove.com. And mention that you came to them via us, and you will get a month free. That's pretty cool. Also, it helps us to keep our sponsors, which helps to keep us doing this. Because, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not an easy lifestyle to sustain living in social housing in Wales. We also have a third sponsor. They can do their own fucking ad read. And that is World Gaming, the artist formerly known as Clarion Gaming. Stuart Hunter, would you do your ad read, please?
Wow, thanks, John. Actually, before I do that, slightly confused. I thought I was on here interviewing for Fintan's role. Is that not what we're doing?
Well, it's partly that's about seeing how you think on your feet, how you react to co-hosting with somebody so much more handsome than you, seeing how you handle that kind of pressure. So, so far, it's not going so well. It's that thinking on your feet part.
Yeah, never been too good at that. Look, pleased to be here on behalf of World Gaming, who are obviously the #1 gaming media brand in the universe, the home of ICE, the home of iGB Affiliate, the home of iGB Live, home of iGB.com, iGB Exec, all of our great products and services. And always a pleasure to be partnering with the Gambling Files. So nice to be here, John. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. We appreciate that. And if Fintan were here, I think he would appreciate it as well. It's hard to tell with him, though. All that hair. So, Stuart, has your job title changed at all since last time you were here?
No, absolutely not. Not unless anyone's told me. So, still managing director of World Gaming events. So I look after all the cool live stuff in World Gaming, which includes the aforementioned shows, ICE Barcelona, iGB Affiliate Barcelona, and iGB Live, plus a few other things in the distant horizon, perhaps.
Oh, what are they?
Can't tell you.
Why not?
Just because they're top secret.
That's disappointing.
That'll be for another podcast, maybe.
Well, nobody's listening.
Well, I hope they are. At least some friends and family.
No, they're definitely not listening.
All right.
Although I did say something in one episode about that I told my kids that we couldn't afford new bikes for them, and I secretly could. And that happens to be the one episode they listened to.
They got the quote stuck up on the fridge, I imagine.
Yeah, I definitely can't afford new bikes now. So, Stuart, the reason we asked you on is iGB Live is next week.
Week after. Well, it depends
Well,
actually when
no,
this
but
goes out. Yeah, of course.
yeah, that's the thing. So I'm putting this out next week.
But then you're correct, aren't you? Perfect. That was a
Yeah,
schoolboy
but
error of mine. I should just let you get on with it.
I was doing that like to be like, oh, aren't we current?
1 week or 2 weeks, it doesn't really get much more current than this. We are locked and loaded for RGB Live, but I appreciate the detail.
But your auditions, it's going badly, but don't panic. You can still swing it.
I hope so.
So IGB Live's next week or the week after. What are the dates of IGB Live? It's the first week of July, isn't it?
Yeah, 1st and 2nd of July. We've got some action on the 30th of June, which is our day zero with our welcome party, etc. But yeah, trade show, conference, all the serious stuff runs on the 1st and 2nd of July.
Okay.
Some stuff on 3rd of July as well, to be fair, for those that have got the endurance, definitely.
You broke up a little bit there. I really didn't hear that. Did I miss anything exciting?
Sorry, I was just saying there's obviously things that happen on the 3rd of July too, but the main event is 1st and 2nd.
Okay. So basically, it's on the 1st and 2nd of July, but there's some stuff on the 30th of June and some stuff on the 3rd of July.
Correct.
That's great. Thank you for clarifying the dates there. Now, so the show moved to London. First year in London was last year from Amsterdam.
Correct.
And I know that you had planned using the area by the water and all of that sort of stuff. And I know that there were sort of feelings in. Can I say that Clarion had feelings? Is that that's probably not true, is it? But the people had said within the business that aspects of it worked really well, aspects of it didn't work so well. Has anything changed for the second year in London? Have you improved on any of the things that you felt weren't quite perfect?
Look, we've never run an event that has been a cookie cutter the year before. So I guess important to start with that point. And to your point, yeah, every event we run, there's always things that go as well as we expected or hoped, things that go better than perhaps we expected, and things that don't go quite to plan for lots of different reasons. That is the nature of running a live event. When you've got 15,000 people in one space, and you put all the plans in place, you never quite know how it's all going to gel together. And more often than not, it does beautifully. But I think definitely with the transition of iGB Live last year from Amsterdam to London, totally new canvas. So for us, it was like, okay, how do we try and ensure some continuation of all the cool stuff that people loved about Amsterdam, but also bring in some fresh new perspectives on the event being in London. And I think there was a ton of those actually. I think certainly in terms of where we've grabbed hold of some changes this year, we've implemented a whole host of different kind of new propositions, which I'm happy to talk about now or a bit later, whatever. But I think you've obviously got a lot of learning from last year. It landed really well across the industry, which is brilliant. People loved being in London, certainly in the British summertime. I think the show, in terms of its content and proposition, grew immeasurably versus the Amsterdam show, as did attendance. So statistically, it was the biggest and busiest show we've ever had, and that's always a good sign. But in terms of how we migrate and move things forward, yeah, lots of looking at the core proposition, making some really exciting tweaks, and then grabbing hold of some new iterations this year. Do you want me to give you one, or do you want
Tell me
the whole
some
lot?
sexy things.
Okay, I'll tell you some sexy things. So obviously we've got we're sort of leaning in a bit more to the on-site experience this year, because you mentioned the waterfront as you did before. Actually, really cool proposition. Obviously, getting business done at RG Live is our number one priority, right? That's what we get out of bed for. But we also understand the value of networking, the value of those fun experiences, and those kind of connections that are created in that format. So we explored extending the campus a little bit last year, but obviously what you are competing against is human nature, with people kind of migrating to different parts of the venue. But obviously where that, sorry, we're gonna have to, there's a whole 100 people coming out.
It's okay. They're not going to stop and talk. You're fine.
No, they're good. Where did I get to? So, so you can't challenge human behavior. So actually what we found is that creating all these cool experiences, people were migrating to some of the well-trodden places that they recall from ICE's long history in the venue. So rather than fight against that, we've leaned into it. So we've taken over the whole of the Fox, which is Great British Boozer at the bottom of XL, and we've done takeover for the whole 2 days of the show. So get yourself in there. There is complimentary drinks post-show. There's great sponsorship, even broadcasting some World Cup, obviously leaning on that sports betting angle for IGB Live, and really delivering a much more cohesive post-event networking experience. So super keen to see all that come together, which I think will be great. And that's landing well. We get obviously a lot of international visitation, and Great British Pub is something that is something that is attractive, we're told. So we're just leaning towards that and building that proposition out a little bit.
But you're not definitely saying that there's a free bar at the Fox after the event closes each day?
No, we are. I am. That is absolutely what I'm saying. Yes, for a period of time. Are you considering coming now? Are you cancelling the caravan holiday in Dorset and you're coming?
That's madness.
Kind of is. Well, it's a way of thanking people and congratulating them for a great first day and second day at IGB Live. So we're leading into that. Do you want to know something else really exciting?
Yeah, of course.
We're partnering with our sister brand, whichever you want to position it, ICE, and we're bringing our World Gaming Gala, which is our very formal networking event that runs in Barcelona. It tends to sort of lean towards C-level operators, C-level suppliers, and the regulatory community, and we're bringing it to London for a summer version, combined with IGB Live, and that is by invitation only, but you can register your interest with me personally, and that is going to be at the Savoy at the end of day one, later on in the evening. So a great opportunity to bring those super high level people together in a slightly more discerning environment, one should say. And that is obviously using the power of our ICE relationships and our ICE database and bringing that all important regulatory community to RGB Live, which perhaps hasn't been there in the past to the same numbers that we're expecting this year. So looking forward to bringing that as a new proposition.
Okay, that's quite exciting. What do you think is the most exciting thing?
I think there's lots of different exciting things. I think actually the change up on the floor plan this year has evolved massively. I think we've been much more clearer in its breakup between affiliate and the B2B element of it. We've been more intentional in bringing sports betting to the front. Sports betting has always been a key part of IGB Live, but probably hidden underneath all the rest of the noise. So it's just a little bit clearer now in terms of those component parts, because we do get these two affiliates very much in that affiliate part of IGB Live, and then the B2B element is very much the kind of iGaming suppliers. So having a much more intentional way of designing that at the show this year, and actually that's going even further for the 2027 edition, which we've already started working on. So it's about bringing those communities, making sure they feel interconnected, but also we know there's a differential there that we're designing. So the on-site experience will definitely feel different, which we're looking forward to. And then mentioning the affiliate space, total redesign of the affiliate awards this year, taking over the Shard for the evening on the end of day 2, 2nd of July. Nice. And that is going to be a brand new way that we're presenting the affiliate awards. Less tables, 5-hour sessions, too many awards, rubber chicken, cheap wine. We're going high level, shorter, but absolutely in one of London's iconic landmarks at the Shard. Even more discerning kind of collection of individuals. Same great recognition for affiliate awards. So we're looking forward to bringing that new proposition as well this year.
Yeah, that bar restaurant thing at the top in the Shard is really quite nice.
Yeah, we're going to be in Aqua Shard, which is arguably amongst the best viewpoints of the City of London. So looking forward to bringing that together. There are a plethora of award shows out there in the market. IGB Affiliate Awards has always been unique, purely for the affiliate space. And it's been running very successfully for a good few years. We've had a very different proposition. It's been black tie, seated, kind of dinner table type environment, as you'd expect, a little bit more traditional. But this year we've turned it on its head, creating something even more elaborate and cool. So looking forward to seeing the industry come together for that one.
Do you know, I don't know whether I mentioned it on this podcast, but I did originate and develop an awards thing. Do you know that?
I think, yeah. You told me that last time, actually.
Well, it's still true.
That's good.
But the basic principle behind it was, let's make something that's not shit, not boring, and you get people in, you give them a good night. There's brevity, there's no speeches. You do say 15 awards or whatever. Feed them nice food. 2 hours, 2.5 hours, in and out.
I think
Feed
that's good.
them, give them a slap-up meal and drinks, and everybody leaves happy, and they've still got some of the night left for their own fun.
I think that last point is not to be ignored. We've got an international community coming in for 2 or 3 days in London in the middle of summer, and the city of London, in terms of experiences, amazing dinners, in terms of nightlife, etc. We don't want to for our attendees to have to make a choice. So you can kickstart the night with a couple of drinks in the Fox straight after doing some deals in iGB Live, then a quick hop over to the Shard in your finery to celebrate the best of the affiliate space, and then you've still got plenty of time afterwards to go catch an incredible dinner somewhere, or continue the kind of celebration. So, no, I totally agree with that model. We're looking forward to getting it over the line this year.
I'm thinking, though, that in something that London has to raise its game in, and I don't know whether this is something that you could sort of import from the ICE experience, but you need more and better pickpockets.
Do you know any?
I've met a couple. I swore at one, and the others, there were 2 of them, and I didn't swear at those 2, but they also didn't steal from me.
That's your wisdom coming in, I think. There, many years experience. I think you opting for a bum bag, or as they refer to them in the States, a fanny pack. I think that's always good advice for your listeners.
Do you know what? I actually, and this is quite by accident. But I'm going to tell you the long-winded version of this. It's not that long-winded, so don't worry too much. My mum, she bought me this hoodie, I don't know, about 10, 12 years ago, maybe more. It was just like this hoodie from Fat Face. And I'm like, oh, you got me a Fat Face hoodie, you cheeky bitch. What are you trying to say? And I wore that hoodie to death. I actually really loved it. And then she bought me another one. My mum wasn't in the habit of buying me clothes generally, not even when I was a kid. But, as an adult, certainly not. But, she bought me this hoodie, and I loved it again. And I wore it until it fell apart on me pretty much. And so mum died 6 years ago coming up. And I kept the last one, and it's still sitting in my wardrobe. It's just folded up. It's just full of holes. And I went last autumn, late summer last year. I went to Fat Face because it's one of their staples,
mm-hmm.
And I went and I bought myself a hoodie, and it was really emotional for me. I know it's just like a little thing, but it was really emotional. And they hadn't put them out for sale yet, but the girl went and found me one, and I was able to buy it, and they were really lovely about it. Probably because, a fucking 51-year-old man crying on their fucking shop floor is not ideal. So I bought this hoodie, and I wore it to Barcelona for ICE. I didn't take a proper coat, even though I hammered it down. I just took my hoodie. And the latest update on that hoodie between the last one that my mum got me and the first one that I bought is they put zips on the pockets. And that saved me some serious hassle whilst in Barcelona. But anyway, that's not a Barcelona thing necessarily. It's not an ICE thing. It's just, if you're in a major city, you're going to meet some dodgy fuckers.
It's a volume thing too, right? Any major event like the events we run, when you're bringing huge swathes of people into a city, it's just the way of the world. But as long as you're streetwise and you play smart and you listen to the advice, then you're totally fine. And that is the experience both in London and Barcelona for the very vast majority of our attendees, staff, exhibitors, contractors, etc.
So listen, I'm not panic mongering here, but can I tell you the story about the two incidents?
If you wish.
You were going to say if you have to. won't you?
If you have to.
So the first one, this dude, I felt his hand go into my pocket because I think he'd underestimated.
Sorry,
just
is this a different story?
No,
Oh,
he'd underestimated just how big my stomach was, I think. And I felt his hand go into my pocket. And I just turned around and I said to him, take your fucking hand out of my pocket. And he's looking at me all innocent. And he got a fucking fake bandaged arm. I'm like, fuck off. And he looks all innocent, holding his hands up. I don't know what you're talking about. And goes. Right? So I do the zip up and I'm like, you cheeky twat. Anyway, the train was really packed and he couldn't get on any of the other carriages and he had to come back and stand next to me. It was awesome. He just stood and he just faced the doors with his nose an inch from the door while I'm just stood next to him like...
What's the moral of the story?
Choose an honest path.
Good advice.
But the second guys, this was my favorite, right? These two guys stopped me in the street in Barcelona and they said, do you speak English? And I thought, that's a really odd question in Barcelona. But okay, yeah, I do. And the guy gestured to his phone. I'm trying to find such and such, and I don't know where it is. Can you tell me where it is? I said, show me your phone. And he wouldn't show me his phone. I'm like, well, I can't really help you then, can I? I think he expected me to take my phone out. But I didn't. Because I'm immediately thinking, okay, let's see where this goes. And the one guy was really big, and the other guy had clearly had his nose spread across his face several times. So I thought this is going to end badly for one of us at least. So I'm just seeing where this goes. And the guy's, so you're from England? Whereabouts? I said, you won't know it. London? No, nowhere near London. He said, oh, well, I'm flying to Manchester tomorrow. My son is in a judo competition. And I'm thinking, where is he going with this? It was so bizarre, it might be true. And then his friend says, yes, do you know how much a judo suit costs in England?
Weirdly, you do, right? Down to the pound.
I just said, how the fuck would I know that? And I started laughing. And the big guy, he's talking to me, and like, I'm a big eye contact kind of person. I'm not shy. He's talking to me about judo suits and how expensive they are. And I feel, while he's talking to me, he's just slightly off over here. I feel his hand trying to go into my pocket. Because the zip's done up. I felt his hand hit the zip. And
this is inside or outside the nightclub?
Neither. I was just walking down the street, heading back to my hotel. And the guy was like, just chatting away, looking me dead in the eye while he's got his hand down here. It was really quite clever. And I just said, terribly sorry, chaps, I'm going to have to go. Good luck. And left. So the moral of this story is get yourself a fat face hoodie with zips on the pockets.
Good advice. Branded with the gambling files, by the sounds of it.
Well, you know, they're doing merch on demand on Amazon.
I was going to say, do you do merch? It seems like you should do merch.
Yeah, we do. Finton's got loads. I've got a Gambling Files dog bowl.
That's back of the merch pamphlet, that one, isn't it? But I guess if you've got a dog, it's quite nice.
A listener sent us a picture of their dog licking something out of their Gambling Files mug. So Finton's like, we need dog bowls.
We need dog bowls.
so we have dog bowls now.
That is a great piece of evidence for consumer centricity. Brilliant.
But like I say, Amazon is doing merch on demand, so I think we're going to spread our wings a little bit now.
Good.
Expect Gambling Files condoms before too long. So not joking. But London, a very safe city. In general terms, it's a massive city as well. And seriously, for its size, London is astonishingly safe. It's lovely to hear that you're still developing the iGB experience, because Excel, and I've always bitched and moaned about Excel, but with the Elizabeth line, I think Excel is probably coming into its own as a venue, because I do think it's an excellent venue. I've been there a few times over the years because they have the London Marathon Expo there. And I mean, that's an insane number of people just over 2 or 3 days. And I was, I think it's a great venue. Now that the transport aspect's been sorted out, it's kind of like there are no wrinkles for Excel now. It's like everything is go, go, go. Are you can iGB Live grow particularly? I mean, not saying is it ever going to be on the scale of ice necessarily, but you're in a great venue, a fantastic city in the summer, and London in the summer is great. Transport's good to and from. It opens up the whole city for people to stay. What's stopping you, Stuart?
Well, look, it's an interesting question because any business measures its success on a level of growth. I think live events is one of those where you're laying out your business for the world to see in terms of size or scale. And if it grows, people think, great, it's doing good things. If it shrinks, it's the opposite. But I think that iGB Live has gone on actually quite a tremendous growth path, probably since post-COVID, really. It was actually the first live event experience we brought back after COVID, which for those that attended that iGB Live in Amsterdam, I think it was kind of one of those memorable experiences because, seeing that face-to-face connection after all those years, I think was huge, irrespective of having to do all the COVID testing and all that other kind of stuff. So I'll never forget it for that. But it has been on a huge growth path. And like I said, it grew when it left Amsterdam and went to London last year. Growth is good, but equally for us, more importantly for iGB Live, I think it's maturing now into kind of really understanding what its purpose is and where it sits from an articulation perspective to the industry. And like I said, thinking about that affiliate space, really kind of using that unique relationship we've got with gaming affiliates through iGB Affiliate Barcelona and iGB Live, and then that B2B supplier perspective through ICE and through iGB Live, and kind of making sure that actually the experience is a little bit more discerning, a bit more intimate. I think that's really important, especially when you think of our other product set in Barcelona, which is just now a metropolis of gaming, where it's, even though we've redesigned to make it much more effective and efficient, you're still walking 15 kilometers a day. It's a huge operation, and that carries loads of benefits for it. But iGB Live, we almost want to be a bit more of the antithesis to that, which is actually you can take a bit more of a pace down. You can have probably easier opportunity for some more quality conversations. You don't have to put quite as many yards in terms of navigating the experience. So, obviously we try and curtail people's aspirations for growth in terms of their investment on booths and stands. We don't just take big stands for the sake of it. We're much more curated than that. So I think where we've got it now is a really big show. It's a massive show. Can it grow more? Yeah, absolutely. We've got the campus of Excel. We recall how big ICE and iGB Affiliate were the last time they were in London. Do I think that is the right proposition for iGB Live? Not really, because I think actually otherwise then we're creating another big iGaming event, and who wants another big iGaming event that's just a little bit loose around the edges? I think there's enough of those. For our perspective, it's about creating this mid-year opportunity in arguably the strongest iGaming region globally, and creating a much more intellectual piece of property, better quality meetings, better quality opportunity for connections, more intimacy, and creating that value. And I think its timing, being in July time, is not to be underestimated. You've had that big influx of conversations and engagement in Barcelona, and then you're kind of moving them forward to July, and then kind of looking forward to that Q3, Q4 period. So that is what the industry tell us. That's where they see the value, and that's what we're trying to do more of, creating more one-to-one type meetings, engagements, and making sure that it's just super effective and not just bigger stands, bigger passes, all that kind of stuff. That's kind of the low-hanging fruit, really. So we've got a business model that operates in that way in Barcelona, and I think this is just an opportunity for us to create something different.
That's a phenomenal answer. You really should think about politics post-Clarion.
You never know.
Just throwing it out there. I'll happily be your campaign manager.
Thank you.
What could possibly go wrong?
maybe some merchandise choices.
See, I can see the Stuart Hunter dog bowl taking off really well.
I'm not going to lie, I've thought about it before.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we've all been there. I think we've all thought, what kind of merch is me? I had a great bit of merchandise at ICE. I had a World Gaming employee pass.
There you go.
Oh, that was good. Got me everywhere. Even got me into the ladies. I'm just kidding.
I think actually Barcelona was our first kind of formal launch of World Gaming, so it's still on that journey in terms of that migration from Clarion Gaming to World Gaming. Obviously, we're still part of the Clarion Events family, but like we've always said, and actually is factually correct, we operate exclusively in the gambling space. I run only events in gambling spaces. Alex runs across the whole piece in the gambling space. We don't converge into other sectors like other event organisers necessarily. So for us, on top of all our media brands, going back to the opening comment I made, it's just actually neater for us to kind of just describe a bit more eloquently about what it is that we do and why we do it. So that was the rationale behind it, and it's slowly drip feeding in, and you'll see more of it at iGB Live, and over time it'll be a thing. So there's definitely some World Gaming merch that's better than a staff lanyard, and if you make it to London, I'll look after you.
Well, it depends whether I did a decent job last time. I just don't know.
Well, one thing I can't guarantee, though, is there'll be zips on the pockets of the hoodie. I know for a fact there isn't. So I don't think we've got time to reprint those.
Not Barcelona proof then, is it? Just throwing it out there.
Depends where you're hanging out in Barcelona.
Yeah, my hotel probably wasn't in the best bit. I think we can take that as a given. I don't think Finton would have been pickpocketed. Let's put it that way. In fact, my hotel was horrible. Thinking about it.
Yeah,
but it's a lottery, isn't it?
Well, it doesn't have to be. Use our partners B Network. Absolutely, the only way to book your hotel in Barcelona, and only guaranteeing at least 30% off the booking.com rate. You're also getting recommendations on where to stay. They're not going to put you anywhere that's not up to the standards we expect. So there's my sponsor plug.
But I might bump into people I know.
Well, then that is the disadvantage.
Yeah, I need the cloak of anonymity.
Yeah, fair. The
hoodie
of anonymity.
Yeah, there's a merch idea. We're obviously going to have to ask you on again to talk about those secret projects that you can't tell me about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think I know what one of them is.
Well, I'll tell you some non-secret projects that are going to be at iGB Live, which are brand new, which I didn't mention.
Why have you waited until now to tell me this?
Because you can't give all the gifts in one sitting. You never do your Christmas presents a bit on Christmas morning and then some in the afternoon.
Do I look like a disciplined person?
Perhaps not.
Thank you.
So look, we're talking about the London centricity of iGB Live, right? Clearly, we love the show. Was beautifully formed in Amsterdam. A lot of the industry love it. We love it. It's a great city. But moving to London opens up a whole new wealth of opportunities. And one of those, which is unique really to London, outside of probably New York, is its proximity and its relationship with the finance industry. And I think when we talk to a lot of our big customers across the iGaming space, M&A and investment, acquisitions, mergers, all of that kind of cool financial stuff is absolutely moving to the top of a lot of the kind of iGaming industry leaders sort of positioning. So that got us thinking. We utilize a lot of our relationships in the city here, being based in London, relationships like Morgan Stanley, relationships like Blackstone, for example, and that has culminated in the launch of an M&A Summit, which is closed door, super high level, small room, rare access, which is giving you the opportunity to meet with investors, listen to their kind of strategy on the types of brands they're looking to invest in from an iGaming perspective, build out that kind of content, but also have some of those kind of unique conversations and build those introductions. Doesn't happen anywhere, total exclusive. and actually we brought it to RGB Live, which we're really excited by. Ends with some cocktails and a private dinner in the evening. So that is something that is brand new to this year's RGB Live, and again adding that value around kind of quality of connections and delivering on a business orientated experience. So we're excited to see that come to life in just a matter of days.
That is pretty sexy. Yeah, I was expecting to be disappointed when you were like, let me tell you about this sexy thing. But yeah, that's pretty sexy.
It's pretty cool. It's landed really well, actually. I think we are, if not at capacity now, not far off, which is brilliant. So it's something that we clearly, all going well, we'll tend to build out next year, and it'll be one of those kind of key pillars for RGB Live going forward. Really, that kind of that access, and that is something that that you won't find across the rest of the gaming landscape. So we're excited for it.
Amazing. That does sound sexy. What was it called?
The M&A Summit.
Nice.
Mm.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Is on the 1st of July, day one of RGB Live.
Or yeah, I suppose that is day one if June the 30th is day zero.
Correct. You're following. I like that.
My mother didn't raise any
just
fools.
Feels weird that it's a different month, right? June and July. It's just tricky, but we are.
When's your birthday?
My birthday's in January. Yeah. When's yours?
July.
Ah, anywhere close?
No, it's like a couple of weeks in, something like that.
Does it move every? Does it change every year? Or?
No. It's not something I pay particular attention to.
All right, fair enough.
I hear you. Especially, you reach a certain age and you're like,
yeah,
great.
Yeah, mine's at the beginning of July, so everyone is totally fed up of celebrating after Christmas and New Year. So I just kind of take a low profile.
Under the radar.
Yeah.
I'm a year older. What of it? Yeah. Biatches.
Yeah. Get a leftover Christmas pudding with a candle in it. That's pretty much my outcome.
But Christmas pudding does mature quite well.
I'm a big fan. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but I'm a big fan.
Okay. I'm not sure why I asked you when your birthday is. I think there was some logic there, but it's gone. So sorry about that. Oh well. Well, that's great news. So iGB Live at Excel in London, 1st and 2nd of July, which is next week. Although there is stuff going on the 30th of June and on the 3rd.
Or last week, if you're listening to this podcast, the 2nd week in July.
Yes. Or 18 weeks ago for anybody that is listening in black and white.
In the archives.
So, I don't know if you remember this. It was one of those classic sort of Common Balls things, but it was snooker commentary. Are you familiar with this one?
Yeah, well, it depends what you're going to say, but
I can't remember the exact expression, but it was something like, and I've got a feeling this might have been John Virgo. It was something along the lines of, so now he's going for the pink. For anybody watching in black and white, that's the one behind the blue.
I do remember that. That's a great line.
That is pretty lovely, yeah. But Stuart, thank you very much for joining us. It's much appreciated. I mean, I know you guys are our sole event sponsors, our exclusive event sponsors. But we always enjoy, we enjoy having you as sponsors. We enjoy you appearing on these shows. So,
likewise, thank you, John. Always a pleasure to chat. And look, I do hope you make it down to RGB Live. I think London is primed. It's going to be a great event, and like I said, different to the rest of the gaming events on the landscape. So come and experience something totally unique. I think there's loads going on. So I would be foolish not to recommend your listeners to check out the website, where you can find access to all of the cool stuff. I've only touched on probably about half the stuff that is new to this year's show. So get on there and engage with it all and get that registration through. By the way, registrations are flying. iGB, just Google iGB Live, you'll find it.
Yeah, but what if somebody's done one of those dodgy domain hijacking things.
I think we've done that. So
You've done it.
Yeah, we've done it.
Oh, it's igbblive.com.
There you go.
That does seem easy.
Yeah, so we've got some cool emerging market stuff. Bringing an Africa Summit for the first time. There's some cool details about that. The content obviously is outstanding, plus all the additional networking stuff. So yeah, it's huge. Loads going on, and London's going to be fab.
If the website is anything to go by, there's going to be some very good beards and moustaches there as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think all the usual unique personas that are unique to the iGaming community will be on good show. And you've got British summertime, you have got World Cup action, you've got Wimbledon. So we're looking forward to it. Last little finishing touches, but everyone's ahead of the game. And actually, interestingly, the exhibitor investment this year in terms of their kind of stand design and investment continues to blow our minds, really. You think at some point, can it get any more beautiful and complex and detailed and dynamic? And I have to say, with the designs that are coming through that we're signing up at the moment, it's going to be a real spectacle. So I look forward to sharing it with everyone.
Fabulous. Stuart Hunter, MD World Gaming, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, John.
If you've enjoyed this episode of the Gambling Files podcast, please find us on LinkedIn. Give us a big, juicy, succulent like. That nearly went wrong. You can find us under the name The Gambling Files Podcast. You can find us on Twitter under The Gambling Files. I think the handle is just @GamblingFiles. You can connect to myself, John Bruford, or Finton Costello, also on LinkedIn. We're also both on Twitter. And you can find all of our previous episodes at www.thegamblingfiles.com. If you enjoyed it, please share, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your colleagues, and we'll see you next time.